that's bothering me. If their hands are hidden, I'm completely fine, or if they're touching something hard, that doesn't bother me. It's only when their hands are just loose. No, no. Like if I'm touched or they touch something really softly. It bothers me a lot. I'm obsessed with my mom's K sound too.
Whatever makes you comfortable, Nicole.
When my mom says the K sound, I can't stand that. I have to make up for it and go until it feels right.
Because Kathy thinks so together.
Yeah. My OCD stops me from having the relationship that I really want from my mom and my brother. I try so hard not to touch her hand. I feel horrible and guilty and like it's all my fault and I'm just a horrible person. And I don't feel sorry for myself. It's my fault. I can't just be strong enough. You know, I feel like they're gonna give up on me. Did you do that on purpose?
No.
I don't remember the first time the hands bothered me. All I knew was that I didn't like my mom's hands, I didn't like my brother's hands, I didn't like to be touched softly, and I didn't like her K sounds. That is all that I knew. I didn't know why, I couldn't understand why.
Is the sounds, are they bothering you?
When my mom is driving and when the steering wheel slides through my mom's hands, like if she makes a left turn or a right turn, I could hear it, so I have to plug my ears so that I can't hear it. I know that she's touching it softly, and that bothers me. Another turn. Jeez. We're both very nervous every time we talk to each other because I have the anxiety she has. Oh my gosh, is my daughter gonna freak out? And I feel guilty. It sucks. Ugh, I feel nauseous right now.
Am I driving jerky?
When my mom says the K sound, I get overwhelmed with anxiety and I would just prefer not to talk to her, and that's why we don't have a relationship. Ugh. You not gonna park there?
Well, I can't.
Oh my God.
Nicole's OCD has been, over the years, progressively worse. All I felt was that I wanted to help her and make it better. And if I could take it away, I would. I mean, I don't know.
If you dropped a normal person into my body for a day and had to do all the things that I do, they'd probably want to jump off a bridge. That looks off, and again, repeat the whole thing. I have to check things that could possibly harm people. I have to check the stove multiple times. I have to check the outlets. If I'm in an apartment, how many people live in that apartment? What could happen if there was a fire and they got killed and it was my fault? I feel it like it happened. Okay, now I have a problem. The same feelings come about when I'm driving a car and I hit a bump. Now I have to go back.
It feels to him like he did run somebody over. I just can't imagine why, even though he knows it's a speed bump and he's looking at it, why he continues to check it.
It's just hard because I can't do anything. I can't help him, and I want to.
Tonight, you're really going to push this so that you don't go check.
There will never be anything that could feel worse than this. The more I sit and not get up to check, the more I see these horrible events happening.
I can't make everything perfect, and I can't check everything, and I'm just tired of feeling sad all the time. One more time, and then one more time before I go to bed.
I always check, but it's at night that it's the worst. I have a sheet of paper that I write everything down on, and I go through the checklist and I put checks next to it. I've been known to check one word more than one time, sometimes many times. If I don't check something, I worry that something could happen, a fire could start, somebody could get killed, and the feeling is so overwhelming. You can't do anything, you're like frozen. Toaster is definitely off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I do 7, sometimes I do 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. I'm still trying to figure out what triggered my OCD. I think I was about 11 or 12, and I was on a paper route with my girlfriend, and we had stopped by my house, and she wanted a glass of water. So I went and got her a glass of water, and then we got back on our bikes, and I remember we passed by this kid, and he just said, I just went over to your house, And you left the water on for a really long time and flooded the whole floor. And I just remember going, ugh. I just rode my bike home as fast as I could. And I mean, it was bad. Like, basically, I'd ruined the entire floor of the house. My punishment wasn't bad, but the punishment that I did to myself was, like, horrible. Make sure the nose off.
I remember that he was really upset about it. Like, he felt as though he had disappointed somebody, you know. And our dad wasn't even that mad about it. It was just his fear of having done something wrong. And I just think that at that point, something clicked in his brain. Like, he never wanted to forget to turn anything off again. And I think that kind of traumatized him.
That night when I tried to go to sleep, I couldn't stop checking the water. And then ever since then, it grew and grew and grew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My OCD does stand in the way of the things that I want to do, especially with my music. I was meeting with a lot of really large major labels, recording in some of the greatest studios in the world with some of the best players that exist. And we got sent to Switzerland, of all places, to do a record on the other side of the world, staying in a beautiful hotel that's completely paid for us. Everything's paid. We have a driver that picks us up to go to the recording studio, and they're waiting down in the car, and I'm sitting up in the hallway, checking the door handle 25, 35, 45, 55 times, making sure the hotel room door is locked. So it was holding things up, and there was a day in the studio where we couldn't record together. I think that in order for me to really progress and do anything, I need to get rid of this thing. And the lights, which I will count to whatever I have to count to make myself believe that they're off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna attempt to go to bed.